If your Thanksgiving or special occasion is looking different this year, maybe you're in a different place or space, or maybe you're in a different personal era, maybe you're grieving, especially if the holiday feels different for you this year. If your situation is different, if your life is different, if you're feeling sad and disconnected, we will be offering some ideas for you to create a meaningful holiday, whether you are modifying from past years or starting from scratch. You are welcome here. I'm so glad you made it. My name is Julie Jordan Scott. I'm known as a Creative Life Midwife, and I am often known as a very joyful, happy person, thankfully, because I am. However, I have had my share of not such great times, especially around Thanksgiving and the holidays. I will tell you about some of that for context, but my focus won't be look how horrible things were in the past or look at the challenges I'm facing this season. Instead, I will be focusing on creative solutions and how to feel better amidst it all. So what do you say? Are you ready to go along for this Thanksgiving ride? Here we go. Now, let's acknowledge what's in the middle of the room. This year's holiday will not be the same as last year's or 5 years ago or when you were a child. The world is different, you are different, and circumstances are different. And that's okay. You can still make meaning. You can make memories. You can stay in the present moment. But if we start from a place of grounded intention, with our eyes and hearts looking towards joy and gratitude, guess what we can create together? We can do some very simple steps to ensure that. The holidays themselves bring up a lot of expectations for us. If we're not jolly and bright and smiling 24/7, somehow people think we're doing it wrong. I want us to wipe all that away. If you have to, just pack it up in little boxes and set it aside during the time of this video. And then you can pick it out and examine it later and see what fits. Then put back what you really don't want this year and put it on the shelf and start from a different perspective. Let's try that out. One of the circumstances I lived with for years was 16 years in a row. My children and I were not included in my extended family's holidays. We weren't invited for Thanksgiving. We weren't invited for Christmas. I felt like my children and I were somehow banished or exiled, and I didn't know why. I will never know why. My parents are both gone now, and I don't even know if my siblings noticed this. But it's not the time for me to bring it up because it happened. We survived. And in the 16th year, when my mother called to invite us to Thanksgiving in the second week of November, I had to explain to her that we were going to our friend's house in Seattle, that we had made alternative plans. Because when you go so many years without inviting me, I'm going to fill my calendar in different ways. So that's the first thing to think about. Look at your situation as an invitation instead of as what a horrible situation I'm in this year. Once I started to look at the situation as an invitation, my attitude changed, and I stopped looking at, wow, my family's leaving me out again. This really sucks. The hardest thing, I have to confess, was seeing the pictures on social media from my brothers, because all of my brothers were there. It was hard, and it was even more difficult to explain to my children. The underside of that is that even now, my children never experienced Thanksgiving or Christmas with extended family. So they literally have not seen this model to them. So I'm looking at that as an invitation to create, from a fresh perspective, what the holidays will look like to them as adults, hopefully, eventually, celebrating together instead of being apart. Before any of this starts, even if you're watching this on Thanksgiving morning, the best place to start is with an intention. Now, an intention is different than a goal. An intention is more of a soul thing. It is more of a being thing. It is more of a way of experience rather than a checklist. So I am a big believer in setting intentions that will shape my life with love and grace instead of with a measuring yardstick against the Joneses. So one of my intentions for this Thanksgiving is to experience the holiday with peace and calm. You can borrow that if you'd like to. But think about, first and foremost, how do you want to feel on Thanksgiving Day? How do you want to feel on the days leading up and also the days after? Because we all know that once Thanksgiving is over, especially this year in the US, because we have less time between now and Christmas, is that it pretty much goes full throttle after Thanksgiving is over. So what do you want to experience Thanksgiving Day, and then before and after Thanksgiving Day? I want to feel peace and calm. So if ever I feel myself getting flustered or upset, I remind myself peace and calm. This might sound woo-woo and out there, but it really works. I intend to create one small activity that feels nourishing to me. I made up a ritual in 2021 that really helped me when I was grieving, especially recently grieving for loved ones. It was very simple. I purchased a candle, a big pillar candle that was simple and elegant. And before the hubbub started, we lit the candle and remembered those who were not dining with us that year. And then we placed it on the table, best to get unscented, placed it on the table so that for those of us who really hoped for those people to be acknowledged, they would be. And then we could feel the permission to acknowledge in our hearts that person for the entire time. So that's an example of a really simple ritual you could create almost in secret. I mean, if you wanted to do it by yourself before anybody else shows up, or with one or two family members, or even if you're celebrating the holiday alone, you can do this very simple ritual. It's amazing how something really simple like that can make you feel grounded, centered, peaceful, connected, whole. All of those things that the holidays are really about, right? Like this one. I intend to keep my expectations gentle. In other words, gentle with yourself and gentle with others. I intend to keep my expectations gentle. So often with the holidays, our expectations are over the top. We are so excited. We have too much. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a holiday that didn't do that? Wouldn't it be wonderful if we lowered the stakes and kept things more gentle? I know I would. Remember, an intention is not a demand. It's a way of orienting your heart to this holiday, to Thanksgiving, maybe to your birthday in the future, or Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or whatever it is that you're celebrating. An intention is not a demand. It's a way to orient your heart. You may use it as an affirmation, as a mantra, as a way of initiating your friends and family. An intention is an invitation. You've got this. So before we go, I would love to take a moment to talk about what's coming up next with the December holidays. These are the biggies for many of us. And just like Thanksgiving can be fraught with tension, the December holidays make that even deeper and wider. So I would like for you to start thinking about your intention for those holidays. Again, before the hubbub gets going on the day after Thanksgiving. One intention might be, and you can borrow any of these, you can even borrow the Thanksgiving one for the Christmas holidays, but I want connection over perfection. I want more candlelight moments and fewer obligations and chaotic moments. I want a calm, meaningful holiday. Want a calm, meaningful holiday. There is still time to shape your experience. There is still time to add joy, even if you're on your own. Remember, once I finally started doing that, it made a huge difference for my family. You're not behind. You are exactly and perfectly on time. I invite you to take a moment and set one small intention for yourself. If it would make you feel better, you can even state it in the comments. I will be coming around and checking them to see if anyone is saying anything. And again, if you're alone, perhaps seeing that I am here with you, literally in the comments, you'll feel just a little bit better. If you would like to feel more connected and grounded during this holiday season, know that I will be here with Vlogmas starting on December 1st. I will be sharing videos every day from December 1st through Christmas Day, and we will be covering the gamut of all things holidays and looking for joy and knowing the joy is present because we'll be delivering it even if things are bleak. I am devoted to all of us experiencing some level of joy and also participating in these really cool activities, almost as if you were there. So instead of feeling lonely, you'll feel like, hey, there's someone out there who cares enough about me to invite me along. So I really hope that you'll do that with me this year.